Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my live videos, and I'm just going to be officially updating you on some current more latest news that I have just researched up. Apparently now Fosu and Cameron Bothwaite-Jackson are both due to be going out on loan deals from Manchester United. Fosu is going to be going to Crystal Palace. I think he's undergoing a medical now with Palace, and Cameron Bothwaite-Jackson is officially gone on loan to Leeds, which a lot of Manchester United fans will not be happy about. Anyway, let's get into the story behind it. With Fosu, I think it apparently was going to be decided after the UEFA Super Cup, but Manchester United have been keen on loaning him out for the season, because now he only made 11 appearances last season. Did Fosu. He's played the majority of these pre-season games. He's a player that's versatile. He can play a right back, he can play as a centre back, and he can play in the midfield as well. I think his advanced role is at the deepest midfielder is Fosu. But we know Watford have been in for the current player. Watford have been in for him but didn't come around. I think a few other teams in. But now apparently Crystal Palace have got him. He's undergoing a medical, and the boss is praised him and admired the player of how much of an important figure he will be for Crystal Palace. A player that can play as an option at a full back position. He can play in the midfield and he can play at centre back. But for us, I think it's ideal putting him out on loan. As a player, I think he made more appearances under Van Gaal than he has under Mourinho. But as I did say, when you've got your likes of, our advanced right back is Valencia. When you've got Valencia, when you've got Tunesby now that's rising up the ranks into the first team, when you've got Lindelof, when you've got Bailey, when you've still got Luke Shaw who's injured, Ashley Young, Rojo, Jones, Smalling, it's going to be hard for Fosu to get in that mix. He can play as a right back, but he's potentially not a right back. I think his third position is that midfield. That's where his tactical game plan comes ahead of him, and that's where he performs the most. Fosu is the current midfield position, and he has been classified. This is a season loan deal. This is a creative player. He's versatile. When he comes on one-on-one situations, he's hard to come by. He's good at breaking up the play. He's a very creative, very competitive player. He's a player that also relies on pace. Fosu, as we've seen he's good at holding onto the ball in key areas as well. We know he's good at breaking up the play. We know he's fast. We know he's got a lot of good genuine pace on the play, but he also does rely on pace as well. Crystal Palace quoted out he will dramatically improve their midfield, and it's also good because you can put him as a full back as well, Fosu. So yes, he's undergoing his medical at Crystal Palace. They have come to an agreement now for the player, and I think it's why that's useful of Jose Mourinho sending him out on a loan deal, because he's not going to be guaranteed the first team football. But if he goes to Palace to get more experience, he'll be guaranteed first team football with Crystal Palace. Not being such a big club, but he's going to be gaining more experience under his belt. He's going to be guaranteed more first team football. So that's it. He's undergoing a medical with Crystal Palace, is Fosu. So we'll get on with, yes, and Cameron Bothwaite-Jackson, the young 21-year-old, has also joined Leeds United on loan. So we did say we may be adamant that we was going to put a few players out on loan, with the players that we've got in the team now, with Blind also in the mix, with Lindelof, with Smalling, with Jones, and, as I said, with Fosu, you can play in any of them positions, and it's going to be hard for him to get the first team football. So it's ideal to send him out on a loan deal to give him more experience, So, but that right back, I still think we essentially need a right back. We've got Valencia as our advanced right back. We've got Darmian, who's a backup right back as well. But Manchester United have looked into a couple of right backs. We have just recently looked into what's his name, Sergio Roberto, the current Barcelona right back. He can also play as a right back. He can play as a midfielder as well. He is age 25. Reports had broke out yesterday from the Dan Ballon. I think it was that Manchester United were in the race, Chelsea were in the race, and Monaco were in the race as well. And Monaco are now on the verge of losing of a couple of their players. They have raised money, but they're losing a lot of their good players. So yeah, it was a release clause of £36 million that Manchester United were willing to trigger off. I think he'd made 48 appearances for Barcelona, this 25-year-old, but now Barcelona are eyeing out replacements. He may not be guaranteed that first team football. So the As team's been in for the player. I think he is a very, very good player, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. I think Mourinho has been in contact before with Barcelona over making a potential move, but he's not going to be guaranteed the first team football. He's Sergio Roberto, and he could be now possibly our next right back. But I've just recently heard that we've just had that 36 million bid rejected by Barcelona. So maybe now Barcelona may not be willing, or they may be reluctant, or they may be resisted to him. They may not will to offload the player off. But is he going to be guaranteed the first team football? That's what you've got to take into the equation. I think his contract is still till 2019 with Barcelona, Sergio Roberto's. So he has risen up the ranks as a player, you know. So I don't really know much about him, to be honest with you, but it had broke out yesterday. The player that reminds me a bit of Fabinho. He can play in the mid, he can play at right back as well. So yeah, and also good to update you on the Sergio Aurelio situation. Apparently now we've got a boost in hand apparently now, because Mourinho may disregard it, because we know Inter Milan are chasing him. We know Chelsea have maybe made plans to hijack the player as well. I don't know if he's had his court case yet. He's still currently banned from the UK. He's obviously been convicted of assaulting a police officer. He's done another assault, and he couldn't make it to the Arsenal PSG game back in November, as we do know that. I think Mourinho's still confident he may want to get him though. He may not have wanted to get him because of the disciplinary issues that he's got, and he may not be a trustworthy player, you know, with his bad reputation he's got. But apparently terms have been agreed now for a while with the player. Could Raiola be out to do with the deal? You know, with the Frenchman's agent, will something be discussed further down the line? The salary is supposed to be around about 90 to 95,000 a week. It said personal terms have been agreed. This was on a 5-year deal and 4 million per year for the current player. And he did quote out that he did want to leave the club, did Aurelio, because he's not going to be guaranteed that first team football now. PSG are looking for more targets, they're looking to build that, create that platform and build a foundation now. Now they've captured Neymar for the absolute staggering amounts of money. They're still looking into further more players, so they may will to offload Aurelio. So we could still possibly get him on the board if necessary. So yeah, to confirm, Fosu Mensah's on a loan deal with Palace now. Cameron Borthwick-Jackson's gone on loan to Leeds. So yeah, so I think it's ideal anyway, Jose Mourinho doing that, because we have still got a lot of youth. We've got Scott Montominway, we've got Tunezebe. Who else have we got? We've got Scott Montominway, Tunezebe, you know, we've got Rashford who's still young, we've got Martial. So we have still got a good youth team. We've still got a good youth team, because there's still a lot of young players in our squad, so that's what you've got to take into consideration. But Fosu Mensah on Palace, I think he will suit the Palace agenda. You know, he's going to gain more experience, he's going to be guaranteed more first team football action. They're going to use him. They're going to possibly use him as a deepest midfielder, and they're going to sometimes use him at right back as well, as we've played him at right back. But I don't think Fosu Mensah is potentially a right back. But we'll see how he currently participates, the youngster. Anyway, guys, that's everything to update today. Drop your comments and likes below on my video. Subscribe to my channel and take it easy. And I'll see you later. Bye.